Hello friends, welcome. So I'm a little late this month doing my Stamps of Life card kit video, but I had a little bit of trouble with my credit card being used like fraudulently. So my husband called it in and they canceled my card, and I did not realize it was the card that went to my club. So I finally got that all straightened out and it finally arrived, and I have been having so much fun playing with it. So let's go ahead and switch the camera and take a look at the products that came in this month's kit. Alright, so you've probably seen them by now since I'm so late with my video, but here are the idea cards for the Die Hard Club and the card kit, and we're going to be using these bundled up characters. So let me show you. Here are some of the ephemera type stuff and add-ons that come in the kit. We're going to be using one of the red bows, and we're going to be using one of the sentiments here. So here is the main set, and I have stamped and colored all of these both in Copics, and I also stamped them and I colored them with the matching stencil. So we'll be using both of those. I have the matching dies, of course, and then I also bought the add-on set. So I thought these were so adorable and I loved the sayings, so I stamped and colored those as well. Like I said, I did purchase the matching stencil. One of my favorite things in this kit is this paper pad. I'm definitely going to order a couple more of these. I love these wood grains. I love the big like buffalo plaids in there, and just the overall colors. I really like this paper pad. The card kit also came with the A1 Grand Side Fold die set, and it gives you this great kind of label piece that comes, that you can make, and that's the part that folds over. That's your card top. But it also comes with this fantastic little snowflake background die, which how perfect for the bundled up theme, and just to be used in so many ways. So love that. Stephanie does such a great job just including really useful sets that come in with the card kit. Like, they're not just for the card kit, they're useful all the time. Now here are some additional things that I pulled from my stash to use with the card kit. This is the word incredible that came in a card kit a very long time ago, and I'm using that. I'm going to use the Tree Scene Fold-It die, which I saw on the website. There's only 9 of these left. Now, I don't know if they're going to restock these or not. They may be gone forever soon. So if you don't have this one and you like it, you'll want to grab it fast. I pulled in this Love You collection. This is one of the card kits a while ago, maybe a couple years ago, that I needed this pink paper in here, so I pulled that out. This is a fairly new one that I bought recently called the Rounded Center Step Up card. I used that one. Ooh, this came in a card kit maybe last year. It's called the Rectangular Pop Out Insert die. So it makes this fun piece that pops out. So cool. And this is an oldie but a goodie, but this is one of the stand-up cards that I own. Now, to do what I'm going to do, you could use any of the stand-up cards, and there's several stand-up cards on the website, but any of them would work for what I'm going to do. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and set these things aside. Hopefully not lose them, but just set them aside. And we're going to get started on our first card. Now, often when I'm doing videos, we start with the easiest card, but today we're actually going to start with the hardest card. And it is not that hard, but I want to be able to let it dry, because we're going to be using some different things. So this is the moose that I have used the stencils to color him. I've got a couple pieces that I've die cut for my sentiment later on. I have cut several of the background pieces. I've made myself a shaped card using the outline die in the tree background. And I've cut one of these to be a hinge hider. So this is going to go on top here to hide my hinge. And we're actually going to turn this into an easel card. So to do that, I'm going to place that right in here, and we're going to go ahead and score this, and I'm going to score this about the 2.5 mark. That'll work for us. So now I'm just going to fold that forward, and now we have the base for our easel card. And I'm going to take this one and glue it on right here. To do that, I'm going to apply the glue to my card base rather than to the panel that I'm putting on. That way I can be sure that my glue does not overlap. We're going to glue that right onto here. Right. So there we go. We have our card base for our easel card. Now, I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to work on this part. Now, I have gone ahead, and you can see here, I've glued down the bottom pieces that you die cut. Let me show you that in the... All right, so jumping right back in where we left off, I am sorry about that. I have muted my phone now. We are going to start with this, and you can see here how this section right here cuts into 3 different pieces. I have gone ahead and cut those out of glittery craft foam, so you can kind of see the dimension there and the layers. Now these bottom 2 layers, I went ahead and did those double thick, so they are raised up a bit. So this is going to be our background. Now I have cut a piece of using the, sorry, that phone call kind of discombobulated me a little bit, but we'll get our bearings here and continue on. Okay, so in the A1 grand side, we have this fun snowflake panel. I went ahead and die cut that, and we're going to use that as a stencil just right back here amongst our trees. So I have a dauber here, and here's my color palette that I picked out to match this paper pad, and I just went through my inks and found what I thought would look good. And I'm just gonna put some of these snowflakes here in our background. Oops. Okay, whoops. Didn't get them to go through very much. I'm going to have to apply a little more pressure. There we go. You can see I've got some snowflakes, and I really just want a few to show there where the trees are, and I'm going to get some of these circles here to be some snow. Let's see. One about right here. And let's do this big one right here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. So it doesn't have to be super fancy. We're just putting a few snowflakes back in there. Alright, so I have gone ahead and die cut several layers, both in a light green and a dark green, and I layered those up. Now I'm going to attach this with a piece of foam. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing here. Well, here they are. I lost them. There we go. Alright, now before I put this down, the way I'm putting it down is I'm lining up the bottoms of the trees with my trunks down, with the tree trunks, and keeping an edge around the top. So this can be a little bit tricky, but it's going to be okay. There we go. Pretty good. So for now, we're going to go ahead and leave that and set it aside. And you can see I put foam on every other one here because I have made other pieces here that we're going to use to put on top. And it looks like I'm short one. Here it is. Right here. Is that the right one? All right, we're going to have to make sure we have that. So I've got some a blender here, and we're going to add just a little bit of shading on our tree. this little one right here. Here's another one. I don't know that the dark ones really need it so much. I don't know that it'll show up. All right, I also have the line of bushes, and I'm going to go ahead and shade all of them, but we're going to cut these apart and determine which ones we want to use. But I'm going to go ahead and shade the tops of all of these. All right. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and we're going to put these all in place. So before I put those on, let's do the bushes first. So this big long row of bushes I'm going to put on the bottom, or between, it fits right here between these two tree branches. So if I fit it right in there, it should fit with all of my trees trunks that I've already put down. Okay, now this one is going to go right here between that. Now these two right here are my lighter ones, and they go on the ends, but we're going to cut apart some of these and place them in and around here so that some of our bushes are light and some of them are dark. Let's see. For that, we'll go ahead and cut this apart. Now this is the most labor-intensive card that we're going to be doing today. The others are some fun ideas and different techniques, but all not quite as in-depth as this one. Whoops, there we go. Okay. All right, I just had a piece in my hand that is this end. Here it is right here. We don't want to lose that. Let's see here. There we go. All right, there. And then also going to add this one right here to be on the other side. All right, I think that looks pretty good. Now you might see we're missing these bits right here. So let's go ahead and add those in place. And I just have to find where each one goes, because, okay, let me look here. This one goes right here. And this one goes right up in there. And this one I'm actually going to double it up. Get the right place. And let's see. This one, maybe I won't double that up. I hadn't decided that since I have this one. Whoops. Maybe there it is. Trying to put the wrong one on. Getting confused on all my leaves here. Got too many extras. There we go. All right. Now, for these pieces, we're going to double those up right on top. And we're going ahead and doing this, and I'll show you why in just a moment. This one goes right down here. Like that. Now there should be this one, but I, for the life of me, don't know where it is. So, let's see, is that it? Yeah, that's the same one. All right. So I think I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put this on here, but I'm going to move it down a little bit so we see the other one underneath. So there we go. We've got our trees. And now we're going to do something really fun to this. So eventually we're going to stand our little moose right here. We're going to stamp our greeting and it's going to go right here. But before we do that, and we also have this little greeting here that says be cool. So we're going to do that one as well. But before we go any further, we need to add some more snow to our bushes. That one is no good. There we go. And I have my little sponge. This is some Doc Martens white shoe polish, and we're going to add snow to our trees. Just on all of our treetops. One of the great things about Doc Martens is it dries really well. Isn't that fun? Yeah, we're going to get snowy trees here. Okay. Now, I'm going to add a little bit to these down in here. And we're also going to tap on just a little bit onto our bushes. All right, there we go. Now I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna add just a little bit more right over here on this one. There we go. All right, look at our beautiful snowy trees. All right, so I'm gonna set this one aside to dry while we go ahead and work on some other parts. So I am going to just clean off my knife real quick so that it's good for the next one. All right, let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment. And it is in the Have a Chill Day. For all those mothers and grandmothers and people who were in charge of cooking Thanksgiving dinner this past week, they probably need a card like this. Just have a chill day before all the Christmas crazy begins. Let's just have a chill day. When I have a chill day, I like to hang in my craft room. I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp that here in my blue color. I think this is suede shoes, if I remember right. There we go. So like I said, this is the most labor-intensive card that we're doing. All the others will come together much more quickly, I think. Now, I made this background with the little X's there for one to add a little bit more of the bright color. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm going to pop this all up, both layers. I've already put the dimensional foam on the back of my moose, so he's ready to go. But I'm going to add this popped up. And then I'll also have to add a piece on the back of here, but I really can't do that until we know where we're going to put it on the card, because I'm going to have to put my foam to arrange it around the trees and things from the foam that's already a part of that. So these out of the way. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next card while our Doc Martens shoe polish dries over here. So it may be towards the end where we finish this one off. So we'll just set those aside. Okay, so this next one is where I pulled in this fun stepper card that came out recently. Let's see, rounded center step up card. And this is the card base that it makes. It gives you lots of decorating room. And I have gone ahead and cut out this background. I loved the colors that were in this set, the card kit. And now I went to my scrap box and pulled out this red. And the reason I did that is because of the way I colored using the stencil. I colored this little guy. And so I wanted to stick with the colors that were in his jacket and shirt. So I pulled this little piece of scrap. I believe this comes from the Ladybug paper pad, which I had used recently, so I had this piece of scrap on hand. Then from this set, I went ahead and die cut these two. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these on. And I thought this layout was going to just match my little raccoon really well. I like giving cards like this, especially like to people who, work in offices or even if they're at home. It just makes it nice to be able to set it up and have them read it and enjoy the card for a time and be able to display it real easily. Because they stand up, the message is big and bold right there. Whoops, missed a spot right up here. There we go. All right, and this is going to go right on there. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of foam to the back of this. Center that right here in this space. There we go. And then I'm just going to stand my little raccoon right over here to the side. Trying to decide which side. I like him on this side, so I'm going to put him right over there. So I'll put just a little foam under his feet. And then I'll put just a little glue over here on his right side so that he can stick right there. Now to finish this one off, I'm going to add my little red bow right up here. So my red bow, I'm going to go ahead and do it with my glue and see if that works. So I'm going to press that down. I'm going to set this block on top of it. We'll set that aside and hopefully that stays down. If it doesn't, I'll grab my hot glue gun and it'll be in place in no time. All right, for card number 3, I have this little guy right here, and he is the first of my Copic colored cards, or critters. Clean up my mess here a little bit. And I just loved this blue wood grain paper, and I especially liked it with this piece right here. I don't know why, that just kind of spoke to me. So I have also cut a couple pieces of these strips. One of them's a 1/4 inch and one of them's a 1/2 inch. I stamped the You're One Cool Critter in red and made a background frame here that my frame is just on the top and the bottom, so it doesn't go all the way around. It's more like just a strip. And then my little colorfully colored guy right here, my little reindeer. So this is one of my more simpler cards. More just showcasing this fun paper. Yeah, like that. Always with the foam, right? Always. Can't go wrong with foam, foam, and more foam. Put some more on the back of this. And this one will just cover a complete A2 card base. It won't have a white outline. Hopefully I got that on straight. And we're going to place that right up here at the top. And then for my pieces right here, I totally forgot. I wanted that to go underneath. I originally had it like this, and then I decided I wanted it coming from underneath. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead, put a little glue, add that right there. And go ahead and chop that off. Put this straight across. Add it right here. And this was just to add a little more interest, to bring my eye down from where my sentiment was at the top. I just thought that needed a little space. Now I had cut this one to put on top possibly. What do we think? Do we like it with the red or without? I say we go for it. Let's put the red on. So I was going to do that before, but I got a little ahead of myself putting the base down. So we'll just do this one the exact same way. There's always more than one way to do things. Try to get that centered on there. And now I do have a little bit left that I can use on another project. So there we go. I kind of like it. Alright, I wanted to put him down so that his little antlers kind of went up on my sentiment, so they were kind of married together. And there we go. I think that's cute. So this is a nice saying, "You're one cool critter." Like if someone, you could put congratulations on the inside, thank you, happy birthday, all kinds of things to stamp on the inside. So this is one of those cards that you could just leave blank on the inside as a blank note card, or you can just keep it. I keep these filed together, and then if I have an occasion where I need to stamp something on the inside, I can pull something like this, stamp it real quick, and have it ready. So they're kind of nice to have on hand. So all right, let's go ahead and set that one aside. Let's go back and check our trees. Nope, not quite dry, but getting there. Now this next one is where I used the stepper card. And this one I decided to try a little bit different colors, and this is why I had to pull in that other paper pad that I showed you. Now I used the big buffalo plaid from our paper pad from this set, and I pulled these two papers from that other paper pad that I had showed you. The Love You collection. And that was just because when I was Copic coloring, I colored my owl these colors, and this pink did not match my paper pad at all. So I had to kind of, go plan B. But I thought I really liked the idea of the stepper card on this. So I'm going to get my old trusty foam tape again. And maybe that's a little too tall. I'll put it right here. I'll put this piece right here. And a couple small pieces out to the side. And now I'm going to center. And that's why I said any of these steppers will work for this, because I used the two from our A1 card. I'm just going to center that right here. And it's real easy to center because you can just use these 2 points and put it right on the fold mark. And then you know it, you have it exactly in the right place. Now I'm going to put my little owl right here. Now remember that stencil that we used in the very first one, the one I had made? Here's all the snowflakes from that, and I thought it would be fun to add some of these snowflakes in right here. Let me get some of the small ones. Right, and let's see. Let's go ahead and trim that one a little bit. And I'm going to place this one right down there beside him. Right in here. Now I have several of the little pieces of snow as well, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add just a few pieces of those. And to do this, I'm going to just tap some glue on, similar to the way I do gems. We're just going to kind of put them around. Now I'm going to use my, actually I think the pen will work best because these are so tiny, so I'm going to get just a little bit of glue on the end of my pen, and we'll just lift these up and pop them in place. Do you think we need another one? Just, well, it's going to be right there because that's where I poked it down. All right, there we go. Sending you a cozy hello, and then I'm going to put a secondary sentiment down here, but I haven't decided which one, and I'm just going to put that on a white square. And I thought I had one kind of picked out. Let me see. Nope, it must have been in the other stamp set. So sending you a cozy hello. Maybe it wasn't in this stamp set either. I don't know. I'll have to find something, but I will put another sentiment there. But I thought that one turned out very cute. Let's check on our bow and see if that stayed. Oh yeah, that stayed on there very nicely. So there we go. This is a simple one, but it just didn't need a lot. So we've got 2 here that are stand-up cards. Really, we have 3. 3 of our 4 are stand-up. All right, we'll set that one, those 2 aside. Ooh, this one's going to be fun. This one's got a lot going on. So I made a blue card base out of some of the paper that came in the card kit. I made 2 panels that are 3 3/4 by 5, and they're going to go on the inside of my card. I made this fun snowflake panel that's going to go on the front. Then here's where we come in with that piece that pops out. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to burnish all of these fold marks. go ahead and glue down our panels. Okay. And this is my first time to use this particular die. I've had it for a while and I just have not used it. So when I saw it, I thought it would work really well for this design. So I've got my two little critters here, and I've got the saying, "So thankful for your friendship." And then on the front, I die cut out the "You are so," and then I went through my stash and I found the word "incredible" because I wanted it to go with this "thankful for your friendship." So I put "You are so incredible," and then you open it up and it says "Thank you for your friendship." So thought those went together nicely. So this card has lots of shades of blue going on in it. And on our piece here, we're going to go ahead and decorate that, whoops, wrong one, with our polka dot. Do we want the brown? I don't know. Nope, I think I want the polka dot. But before we go any further with these two polka dots, there was something else I wanted to do. Let me find my pen. There it is. All right, I had a little piece of blue that I had saved right here, and I'm going to make some little snow mounds across the bottom here. So to do that, I'm just going to, let's see, cut one strip and two strips. Now I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to make some snow. And this doesn't have to be anything fancy. You're just making it not perfectly straight. Okay, now I could have got out a die to do that, but I had done so much for this card that I decided to just go ahead. So I'm going to take my dauber here and add a little bit of shading on the top of my snow. Now, I'm going to make sure I do it the right direction. So yes, those go in like that. All right, now I'm just going to go ahead and trim around the back side anything that's hanging off. Make sure I get those rounded corners. There we go. Whoops. That one, I accidentally got it. So that's all right. We're just going to go on. There we go. All right. Have to glue back on what I accidentally cut off. I was not being careful. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now, for my so thankful to be your friend, I want that to be right down here in this lower corner. So I'm going to go ahead and place that. And I think that will help me get this in the right place. So I'm going to fold these down. And I'm pretty sure the way we do this, let's see. Oh, I think we want it like, no. I need to get out my thing so I can see the picture and make sure I'm doing this the right way. I told you, it's the first time I've used this particular one. And I've done cards similar in the past, so I thought it would just be intuitive to know how to do it, but now that I'm here, it's a little trickier than I thought. So let's see here. Let me cap this because it's oozing glue. There we go. All right. Okay, I think we line it up right here. And then it folds like this, but when you open it, it pops out like that. So I'm pretty sure we're going to line it up with the center. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue right here on this, making sure I don't get it too, I don't want it oozing over, but there we go. And now we're just going to apply some pressure there. So what I lined up was the center of the card with this, and then I tucked this under. And now we can go ahead and add a little glue to this one. And hopefully I'm doing this right. We shall soon find out. There we go. Now I'm going to add my little friends, and I've also got a few white snowflakes that we can add. I'm debating whether I pop them up. I'm thinking that because they're on the inside and I don't want to add too much bulk, I'm going to go ahead and put them down, even though I think they would look great all popped up. And I may add maybe a little speech bubble that says, "Hello, friend," or, you know, something like that. Since our two little buddies are in different squares here, let's add a few snowflakes. There we go. So I hope everyone had a very nice Thanksgiving. I hope you're looking forward to the Christmas holidays. I'm finally getting a little bit of my shopping done. Not a lot, but I've got a few things, so that's better than it was. I hadn't started it all up until a few days ago. All right. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set those aside. Now, hopefully this works the way it, oops, did I? Okay, it's going to go down for now, and then when you open it, it'll pop out like this. So it'll pop out towards you when it's open, but when you close it, we're going to close it this way. So let's go ahead and do our panel for the front of this card. And we're just going to put, "You are so incredible." And I thought it would be fun to kind of do it at an angle. And I'm sorry, friends, but it just has to be popped up. It doesn't look right laying down flat. So we're going to do it at a little bit of an angle. So gotta move my sew down. I put him too high up. There we go. You are so incredible. Okay. Okay. Whoops. Try to get that centered. There we go. Now we'll just add this onto the front of our card. And there we go. All right, you are so incredible. And you open it up and it pops right out at you. So I do think I need to put maybe a couple little speech bubbles of these two friends popping out to say hello. But right down here, so thankful for your friendship. So I love that. Okay, that one is complete. Now, our very final card is a simple one, and then we'll go back and finish up the first one. But this is a sweet little card. Here's one of the little birds that I colored using the stencils. I die cut some of the little hearts that come in our A1 set. I don't know what I've done with it, but that's okay. You know which one I'm talking about, the A1 set that came in this set. And I've cut a few little panels here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is the leftover from my previous card, and I'm going to add that across the bottom. Just like that. And I find this design that I'm doing right now, one that's just kind of fun to do when you have a little critter or something. I'm going to grab a dauber that's got some pink on it. And just right here, I'm going to add a little halo of pink to go behind my critter. And if you wanted to, you could splatter a little pink on here, but I'm going to put it just like this. And then we're going to stamp the words "warm wishes" right here next to him. Okay. And I'm going to stamp that in the same pink that I used. So let's grab our Misty. Oops. Put that about right there. Okay. Might have to stamp that a few times. Oops. I've made a little scallop edge. And I'm just going to glue him right down onto this card. I think this one I am going to keep it I'm going to keep this one flat. Like I said, these are the little hearts that were in the A1 packaging and dies. So just like that. And this is the rest of the piece of paper that I used in the other to cut the little top portion of my stand-up card. And it is cut down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this was, I like it when I can use these little leftover chunks of paper when I've used it for something else. So that's always a win for me. I like not having a bunch of leftover little pieces of paper. And now I've lost my pen, so I'm going to grab a new one. It's probably under something. Clogged up. All right, let's go back and take a look. Is it dry? Yeah, it's looking good. So here's our card base. We're going to go ahead and add this right on there. cannot imagine what I did with my... Oops, a little bit of... Alright, so this is going to stand up like this. This is the one that I had a sentiment for the inside picked out, and I can't remember now what it was either, so I'll probably have to come back and add that later. Now, I have enough of these snowflakes that I could add some on this card as well. So when you see the photograph of this card, it'll probably have some of those white snowflakes. But before I go any further, I've got this little banner that I'm going to curl up here, and I'm going to glue that right here behind my moose. Take off the foam. And he's going to go right here. There we go. And now for our sentiment, I'm going to add some thicker foam on here. And he's going to go right here. Have a chill day. Be cool. And I may stamp something like "You're one cool friend" on the inside, or, you know, I'm not sure yet what I'll stamp on the inside, but I do think it needs something stamped on the inside, and I'll put it on a little square and raise it up so I have a bit of a stopper there as well. So real quickly, let's add just a few of these snowflakes because why not, right? It looks like what the stenciling that we did in the background isn't really showing all that much, so that's another reason to really add some more of these snowflakes. Here's a little one. Whoops. I think just two more. I see the spots that I need them on. This one and then one small one. Alright, I think that ought to do it. Let's go ahead and push everything aside here and bring out all of the cards that we made today. So here is our stand-up card with our moose. I love that. I love all the snow, and I just think that's so fun. This is a very labor-intensive card. There's lots of die cutting that goes on for that one. Here's our simple little warm wishes made with some of our leftover pieces. Here's our fun, "You are so incredible, so thankful for your friendship." And here's our little pop-out piece. I'm going to set him over here. We've got "I'm so thankful for you," a fun stand-up card. Put that right here. Sending you a cozy hello, another easel stand-up card. And last but not least, "You're one cool critter." So here are all of our cards that we made today. All of them are a little different. Like I said, some of the critters, this one, and this one, we're done with the stencil. and then the other 4 I colored with Copics. So different options there. So thank you so much for joining me for the November Card Club kit unboxing and creating cards. I hope you have a wonderful day. I look forward to crafting with you again very soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.